YouTube, it is your girl Sharonda Patrice, and I am back with another video. If you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. So today I wanted to come to you and kind of am going to be very vulnerable about my state of mind at this moment. My mom's death has really took a toll on me to the point that I can honestly say I'm probably depressed. I am depressed. So, I got to the point where I just really didn't feel like doing anything. I don't want to do videos. I don't want to do stuff that I like to do, like crafts and stuff like that. I don't want to do that. It was even to the point where I really wasn't wanting to go to church. I wasn't wanting to pray. I wasn't wanting my Bible, anything like that. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to go to work. I didn't want to get out of bed. Like, if I could lay in the bed all day, I would, because I just don't want to do anything. So, as I was sitting and thinking today about my next moves and stuff like that, it was kind of like, I just felt like, I don't know. I just felt like I just wasn't doing anything. Like, I didn't even have a video prepared for today. So I was just like, what am I doing? Like, I just don't understand. So I kind of started going through, I went to the Bible app, and I'll put a little thingy right here, the Bible app, and I'll put a link down below. And I went to the plans, and I found this plan. The Bible plan is called It's Okay Not to Be Okay, and it's by Sheila Walsh. And if you know anything about the Bible app, if you go to the plans, you can do a sample and kind of read it to see if you're really interested in actually doing the plan. So that's what I did. I was just kind of scrolling through trying to see a plan, because I really needed to get back into reading the word and meditating and stuff like that. So I clicked the sample to see if I was interested in it, and I read it, and I want to read it to you guys. I'm just going to read day one for you guys. It says, I held it together until I couldn't anymore. I closed myself in my bedroom, got down on the floor, and soaked the rug with my tears. I was exhausted, bone tired from pretending to have it all together. Maybe you feel the pressure to keep it together for your family, for your kids, for your team or staff. Maybe you pretend to be okay because you're terrified of what will happen when you admit that you're not. Who will pick up the pieces? In this digitized world where everything is marketed and images are perfected, it's insanely hard not to be okay. In Christian circles, we can feel guilty for letting the difficult things in life shake our hope. I hid my problems for years, covering up my pain with smiles and the lie that I was just fine, thanks for asking. But this only leads to despair. When we lock our problems away, we can't make room for truth, hope, and life-giving relationships. The very thing we need. I hid my problems until I couldn't, but then I found another way. A good, honest, heart-level conversation with God. I let God have it all of my confusion, my anger, my disappointment, my sorrow and loneliness. I gave voice to all the bad and ugly things that I was carrying around inside. When the tears ran out, I half expected to feel guilty for not being stronger, so I offered up my only defense: I just can't do this anymore. But instead of guilt, a profound peace settled over me. I felt God bend down and say, I know, I've been waiting. God never expects us to do it all. Jesus bore our not okayness and made us right through his blood on the cross. God simply asks that we set down the pressures we carry and let him in on our mess, because then we make room for his peace. And so she also had a reflection question that said, how do you hide your problems from yourself, from others, from God? How can you begin that good, honest conversation with him today? And then she has a prayer that says, Lord, I know nothing is impossible for you. You are bigger than all my problems. Please help me to be honest with you. Please come into my mess, my not okayness, and redeem it all for good. And then her scripture, she only had one scripture in this day's lesson, and it was Psalms 62:8, which says, 62:8 says, trust in him at all times, ye people. Pour out your heart before him. God is a refuge for us. So I read this, and as I was reading it, I was literally in tears, because this explains, this is me. Like, every word she said is literally me at this very moment. Like, I held it all together until I couldn't anymore. I closed myself in my bedroom, got down on the floor, and soaked the rug with my tears. Like, literally, when I get by myself, I literally cry all day, all night. If I'm by myself all day, I'm pretty much crying all day. Like, literally me. I won't do it in front of anybody. I won't cry in front of anybody. I won't show emotion in front of anybody. But when I get by myself, that is when it's like, I guess I have time to think about it, and I just cry. And then she goes on to say, maybe you feel the pressure to keep it together for your family, for your kids, for your team or staff. Maybe you pretend to be okay because you're terrified of what will happen when you admit that you're not. I just feel like, what is the point of admitting that I'm not okay? What is that gonna gain? Like, what is that gonna gain me from admitting that I'm not okay? And are people going to pray for me more? Are people going to help me out? Are people going to be there when I need them? Like, that's my thought process behind admitting it. Am I going to get better from admitting it? Is it going to make me feel better? Like, I don't know. I just feel like I just feel like there was no point. So then she goes on to say, we feel guilty for letting the difficult things in life shake our hope. And that's true, because, like, I feel like there are so many scriptures that talk about, like, why should you fear because you got God on your side, or don't worry because God's got your back, or no worries because God grants you peace, or anything like that. Like, why should you be upset? Why should you be anxious? Why should you be afraid? Because God has your back. You shouldn't be those things, because if you are those things, that means you're down in God, right? That's what people are always saying. But it's just like, can I not be okay just for a moment? Can I be upset? Can I be sad or whatever just for a moment? So then it goes on to say, I hid my problems for years, covering up my pain with smiles and the lie that I was just fine. And that's what I do. I tell people I'm good, I'm doing good, I'm making it, I'm okay, yada, 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 because it is just easier to say I'm fine than to tell you I'm not okay, I'm sad, I'm depressed, I've been laying in bed all day, da, da, da. It is just easier to say that. So then she goes on down to say, I let God have it all of my confusion, my anger, my disappointment, my sorrow, and loneliness. And so then I started to think, like, I've been depressed, I've been feeling this way or whatever, but I really haven't done what I need to do to shake this feeling, which is to just simply tell God what it is that I'm feeling. And so I began to like read that sentence over and over and over. Like all of my confusion, like, God, why? I'm just confused as to why my mom died and I don't have my mom and other people got their mother. Like why did it have to be mine at such a young age? And then it went to anger. Like I'm upset. Like you took my mom from me. Like I just feel like he took my mom from me. Yes, I'm very upset. Like I just don't I don't know how to explain it any more than it just upsets me that she's not here anymore. And then the disappointment, like the disappointment of my mom won't be able to participate in my wedding, or she won't be able to see her grandkids, like all of this stuff that she was wanting to do. Like my mom pretty much has been buying stuff for a wedding for years, and I'm just trying to figure out like why are you buying stuff for a wedding? Because I don't even have a man. At the time I didn't have a man. But like, why are you buying stuff for a wedding? My mom also buys stuff for grandkids. Like, there is no grandkids in sight, Mom. But she was looking forward to that. And so it's like disappointment that I wasn't able to give her that stuff before she passed. And then, of course, like my sorrow, like, of course, I've said I cry. Any moment I'm alone, I'm crying. And then my loneliness is feeling lonely. Like I call my mom every single day. Like me and my mom talked every day. And so now it's like, I don't have that anymore. But yes, I have my dad. Yes, I have my boyfriend. Yes, I have my aunt and my uncles. Yes, I have my grandmother. I have my mom's best friend. I have my cousins. I have my pastors. Like there are people that are there, but it doesn't replace my mom. So it's just like this hole, this empty. And so I just realized going through all of that I really just hadn't expressed to God how I feel. Like, of course God knows how I feel, but I hadn't said it out loud. So I began to just realize that I need to get back into his word. I really need to just talk to him. That's really what he wants. Because at the end she says, I feel God bend down and say, I know I've been waiting. Like, and so maybe that's why this is speaking to me, because I haven't yet to just say how I feel to God. And so even for the scripture, like if you read the scripture in the Message Bible, it says, my help and glory are in God, granted strength and safe harbor, God. So trust him absolutely, people. Lay your lives on the line for him. God is a safe place to be. And all this time of me thinking about being lonely, and God is a safe place to be. And so, am I still going to struggle with this? Yes. I'm still going to struggle with it. It's not going to go away overnight. I'm not going to feel better overnight. But I'm going to feel better now that I've said it out loud. I'm going to feel better now that I'm talking to God and letting him know, like, this is how I'm feeling. And just knowing that God is a safe place. And he really is a safe place. So I just wanted to come on, since I didn't have a video, I wanted to come on and just let you guys know how I was feeling, how I've been feeling, and let you know depression is real. Like, depression is so real, and people need to learn how to reach out to people. And I just want to say, for all of my people that's watching this that has reached out to me, I really appreciate it. It has not gone unnoticed. I really appreciate you checking on me, because like I said, there are days where I don't even want to get out of bed. So I do appreciate the ones that reach out to me, but for people who don't reach out, and not just to me, but to anybody who's going through anything, reach out to people, because you don't know how they're really feeling. Like I said, I can say I'm fine and I'm not fine. So just make sure you reach out to your family, to your friends, tell them you love them, tell them you're thinking about them, anything, because it will make their day. You just don't know. It'll make their day. So I just wanted to come on and talk about that for a little bit, and just be open and honest and transparent about how I'm feeling. And then I just see you guys next week. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Bye.